Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. The long-awaited Q&A is here. I've just set up our chairs for me and Mitch to sit down. He's gonna kind of be the one asking me the questions and we're just gonna kind of chit-chat back and forth. But I hope this is what you guys have been looking for. It's gonna be long. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be long. And if I missed any questions, please leave them below and maybe we'll do a part 2 if we feel like I wasn't able to hit anything. But please enjoy. I'm so excited. Okay, so basically what I did is I asked my page about fitness questions and then just like everything else, because a lot of people who were answering the fitness question box were like, wait, we want to know more than just fitness. So we're gonna just like do a part 1 and a part 2. First half's gonna be like non-fitness, just life and like stuff with me and Mitch, and then chicken. Can you even see her? She's down there. And then second part is gonna be all fitness, basically all the questions you guys have been asking me that I just have not been able to answer yet until now. So first things first, this is Mitch.
Hi everyone.
We'll be seeing a lot more of Mitch. We literally just filmed a Trader Joe's like taste test and review and Mitch is in it. And then of course we're filming this Q&A and Mitch is in it, so get comfortable with they. Okay, so let's start with non-fitness questions. Also, Mitch is gonna be mediating, is that what it's called? He's gonna be like asking me the questions in like an interview style. So that's why he's here. Well, he's here for more than that, but like that's his job today.
Yeah. Marissa's job today is to just like sit back at this point moving forward and like not direct any more of the show, and I'm just gonna ask questions and we're gonna see how much we can get out of her. So Marissa, get comfortable.
Mitch keeps calling this a tell-all. I'm like, relax.
The people want to know. Let's get right into it. Let's get really deep right into it. No, I'm gonna give you like an easy one. Yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it. I get social anxiety speaking in groups. Any advice?
Honestly, same. I hate public speaking. The best thing I do for myself is literally just make sure, like if you're doing a presentation, I don't know if that's like what you're referring to, but the more information I have, the better I feel about how it's gonna go. Like if I just get up there and I'm winging it, that's when I begin to panic. But as long as I prep and know as much information as possible to be able to share and potentially ask questions, that helps a lot. But also gaslighting myself, like going into public and large group situations, like for example, going to like the lift events for Gymshark, very stressful. Like even though it's such a great time, it can definitely be very, very stressful. So yeah, I just literally fake it till you make it. Gaslight yourself, like everything is gonna be okay. It's just like the buildup that really, I feel like freaks me out, but like once you're in it, everything's okay. I feel like that wasn't really advice, but that's just kind of how I work through that process.
So like you prepare as much as you can for anything.
I try. That's like in a presentation situation. Just the more information I know, the more comfortable I feel being able to share it confidently. Cause like my biggest fear, I guess, would be sharing information and just being completely wrong and just not knowing what I'm talking about.
Okay, that was good. That was a hard first question.
That was a really hard first question. I felt like I was put on the spot. Like that gave me anxiety. So thanks for that. She's so cute.
What keeps you motivated? What keeps you motivated like in other aspects of life too though?
That's tough because there are a lot of days where I'm not motivated. Like I wake up and I'm like, I do not want to get out of bed. I'm stressed, I'm anxious, I have way too much to do, not enough time. But I feel like I always tell myself like someone's got to get it done. The work's got to get done. All the goals I have in life, you know, need to get reached somehow. So I feel like how I continue to stay motivated is creating goals for myself. Like I have a reason to keep going, and obviously some days are gonna be way harder than others. Like some days I wake up and I'm like ready to go, and other days I wake up and I'm like texting Mitch like I can't get out of bed, like this is the worst day ever. Today was kind of like one of those days, but we got it done. Yeah, I feel like if you are having a hard time staying motivated, like find some goals, set some short-term goals, some long-term goals. Always keep them in the back of your head, because even on the days where you're feeling lazy or tired or anxious or stressed, like you have that to fall onto and just remind yourself why you're doing it.
I feel like people who set goals and are motivated by goal setting either are motivated by fear of not reaching the goal, or they're motivated by like anticipating the excitement and happiness they'll get once they reach that.
Yeah.
What do you think you are?
I feel like I'm super competitive with myself. And if I want to do something, I don't want to like let myself down, or like I know what I'm capable of and I set very high standards for myself. So not reaching those goals, I don't want to not necessarily let myself down, but I don't want to be a disappointment to myself or to the people around me. So I would say the fear.
How do you deal with not reaching those goals, or like if you don't reach them in the way that you thought you were going to? Like, how do you deal with that?
I don't know. I mean, I
think a lot of people like set goals and they get discouraged by like not reaching them or not reaching them quickly enough. Like, how do you deal with that?
I try to set realistic goals, but I also try to set goals that may seem a little bit, I don't want to say too big. I don't want to say any goal is too big, but while I set those, I set smaller goals that like building block goals, if you will.
Yeah, like incremental.
Incremental. So that just helps keep your mindset there as you're going versus like, say you're just like, I want to build my own business. Okay, well, like, I feel like there are a lot of things that need to happen before that. And say like 3-4 years have gone by and you have yet to do that. If you set smaller goals, like I want to do this and achieve this, that will lead to this, which will then lead to being able to begin my own business and so on. I feel like that makes it a lot easier. I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah, it kind of goes into the next question I was going to ask, which is, I guess it kind of does and it doesn't, but like, how do you stay disciplined and consistent?
I feel like having you.
Yeah.
Having a buddy or having a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a partner. Well, like a gym
I know,
like a workout buddy.
I was just trying to be funny, sorry.
Just having like a partner who, on the days that you neither of you want to do it, but you know that the other one's going to show up and you have to show up, and even if it's maybe only 80% of what it could be, at least you showed up. I feel like that's huge. Like some mornings, if Mitch didn't get up, I wouldn't get up. Or vice versa. There are other mornings where I'm like, Mitch, you need to get up. You need to get up. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's big. What's your ethnicity?
I'm Chinese. I was adopted though. So not that that changes my ethnicity, but just to give you some context and background.
Tell us something we don't know about Mitch.
Wow, they don't know a lot. Wait, I feel like they know a lot about you, but what don't they know about you?
So
Mitch is a huge romantic. He's the romantic one. I guess actually I feel like you guys can kind of guess. He's like the golden retriever. I'm like the black cat. He's like, let's go on a date night. We don't go on enough date nights. He like, here are flowers. Like, here, let's go to dinner. Let's dress up. And I'm like, let's sit in and be lazy on the couch and eat popcorn and spend time together. But I feel like you're the romantic one who like, you know.
Yeah. So when and where did you and Mitch meet?
6th grade. Was it in lit class? Where did we meet?
I don't know. I mean, we had a lot of
Wait,
classes
I have to
together.
tell you guys the funniest story. Okay, so in 6th grade, Mitch went from private school to public school, and so I was in public school, and so he came, didn't know anyone because all of us had been going to public school together, and then we go to middle school together. And so he's coming from this really small private school, comes in, and to make friends, he would have his mom buy like Lifesaver mints, and he would hand them out to people. And like all of us would just like go meet at his locker and be like, Mitch, like, do you have any mints? Do you have any mints? And we would call him Mint Man. And
so stupid.
and like one day I remember he like ran out and like no one wanted to, like, we didn't want to hang out with him, but just like no one was at his locker, like no one.
Everyone was so pissed off.
And then like later he like made an email. It was like Mint Man 97 or something like that. It was so funny.
Yeah,
you had to be there.
That's definitely something that like you dug that one out of the depths.
But we met in 6th grade, and then we went to high school together as well. And then we actually went to Michigan State University, not together, but like we both went and didn't really disconnect, but we just, you know, we would see each other around, but nothing crazy. And then like halfway through freshman year, we realized that we both lived in Wilson Hall, except he lives in like west and I lived in east, like just two different ends of the building. And so it was kind of funny because we lived in the same dorm and just didn't know it.
So we actually like kind of how we like became better friends again is we started running together. So like fitness.
Yeah.
Except I didn't run really a lot of the time.
I was training for a half marathon and he didn't really care. So he's like, I'll just bike next to you.
Yeah.
But okay, last story. I promise this is the last story. Wait, shit. What was I gonna say? Oh, so Mitch is the one who kind of like got me into like the gym. Like I've always been like an athlete. Like did sports in school, but then once college started, I wasn't on the basketball team. I wasn't on the volleyball team, track team, whatever. And so he's like, you should go to the IM with me and work out. Like we can lift weights. Like I can teach you how to like be more serious in the gym. Cause at that point I'm just like, I'm going to like the Planet Fitnesses. I'm going to like, I'm just like on the treadmill for 10 hours. You know how it is, the cardio bunny days. And Mitch is like teaching me how to back squat, barbell back squat. Tells me to throw on 135 on the bar, so 245s. Like I'm in shape, like I'm athletic, but I'm not like, I'm like freaking 19 years old. And he's like, oh, you can do it easy, you can do it easy. I fall to the, like I literally crumple in half. Like I'm literally like this underneath the bar because it was so heavy. And thank goodness I'm just super mobile, so like the safeties were like just high enough where I'm like crouched under the bar. But Mitch, it was just hilarious because Mitch is like, you got it, like it's so easy, like you can easily do 135. And then is spotting me, but since we're just friends, like it's kind of awkward spotting because you're supposed to like grab their chest. I was so nervous. And he's like literally like, I don't want to grab her boobs, but like, and then just lets me fall. So bless you.
Yeah, that was not good. Not a question, but would love to see some pics from your wedding.
Okay.
You never. So here's one thing that you don't know about Marissa is she hates photos of like earlier how she said I'm the romantic. Like she does not want like a wedding photo of us up in our house or something.
I don't know why.
She's just like not.
The thought of like friends and family coming over and a huge wedding photo of us plastered on the wall, it's like, it's weird to me. And no shade, like I don't mind if like, I don't care if I go to your house and see it, like gorgeous wedding photos, but I just, when me and Mitch are sitting on the couch at 10 p.m. just like cuddled watching 13 going on 30, I don't want to look over and see us eloping. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyways, hi chicken, can you go lay down?
How did you become a Gymshark athlete? P.S. I love you and your boyfriend.
I just literally was regularly posting the silly stuff I do post online, sharing my outfits organically. Like I was a Gymshark wearer before I was a Gymshark athlete, and I think it was a DM maybe? It was either a DM or an email from a Gymshark manager like, hey, we'd love to like work together on a short-term basis and then go from there, and then it was happily ever after.
Just kind of snowballed.
Yeah, it just snowballed. It became like a non-exclusive thing, and then they asked me, actually what happened was after I was working with them non-exclusively, but I had a code and I was getting clothes. I went to Denver to visit one of my friends' page, and that's where Gymshark HQ is. So my manager was like, hey, do you want to grab lunch with me and another manager? I was like, sure, like I would love to see you guys. And I'm literally like shoveling tacos and like chips and salsa in my mouth because we're just like having girl time, like we're just chit-chatting, catching up. And they're like, so like if you were to be exclusive with anyone, like would you be exclusive with Gymshark? Wink. And I'm like literally like mouth full, like jalapenos just like making my tongue like so hot. And I'm like, I think they're asking me to be an athlete, like not, but like kind of. And yeah, that was it.
And they were.
Yeah.
What made you choose to live in Michigan? Do you see yourself moving anywhere else?
So I was not born and raised. I was born in China, but my mom adopted me, and from 2 years old to 27, I've lived here my entire life. In Michigan, yeah, it's just been me and my mom, and now like obviously Mitch is in the picture, but both of our families live in Michigan, and so we're both we just like being near family. And there was definitely a point in time where we both wanted to, during our relationship, we both wanted to move. We're like, we need to move to California, we need to move to Denver, to Texas, wherever. But I feel like living near family helped us in all aspects, and we were able to kind of like grow and become financially comfortable. And I don't think we would have been able to do that anywhere else. And now we have the ability to travel as we want to. So I feel like that's huge because I don't know if that makes sense. Like we were just able to save a lot of money by not just dipping and leaving Michigan. And I've also kind of noticed, like, because a few of my family members have moved to like Denver, like their dream place. And actually he's moving back to Michigan. But I feel like moving to like a place you really, really want to live, you kind of lose the...
It loses the novelty.
Yeah, like he moved to Denver. I still love Denver, but like I feel like he didn't get to travel as much as, or hike and explore as much as he thought he would be able to in Denver. Versus when he was living in Michigan, he was like leaving and flying out every weekend to go to Denver, to go to like Florida, to do this and that. But then like his job got so busy out there that like he lived 45 minutes from the mountains, but like never went to the mountains. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like it's still, we like it here where it's quiet. If we were to, I don't think we'd ever move, but we have been considering buying like an apartment or something in a different state.
To be continued.
To be continued. Hi, baby.
What did you do before content creation? Is it hard to be one? They're asking, like, is it hard to do content?
So I graduated school, did an internship working for the city of East Lansing as an environmental coordinator. Basically, I would sit in on local meetings about people dealing with environmental issues, you know, environmental education. I ran a recycling, like, event, that type of thing. And then after that, where was I? Oh, I then started working at the supply store. Is that what it's called? I'm a Michigan State University supply store in their like reselling area. And I was just like really hoping to just get my foot in the door with Michigan State University and move into like an environmental sustainability position. But COVID happened and I got laid off from that job. And while that's all happening, I'm working toward getting my personal training certificate. And I'm also posting online regularly, but not her chewing my pants. Do you guys see that?
Oh my God.
Like, chicken, get that out of your mouth. I'm posting regularly, but I'm not like, you know, I'm posting a breakfast update. I'm posting a workout once or twice a week, nothing crazy. And so I get laid off, and for like 2 or 3 months where like no one's working, no one's leaving their house, I'm kind of posting a little bit more, kind of getting into a routine of things. After COVID, I start doing in-person training part-time, super casual, nothing that I could make a living off of by any means. And then, where am I going with this? Now I'm losing my train of thought.
So COVID happened.
Oh, and then, so I just slowly, I don't want to say blew up, but like the consistency, just working my butt off. I will say one thing that Mitch and I were just talking about is that it may look like, oh, like, you know, like overnight, like, it must just be so amazing to like have this account and like have all these partnerships. I will say I worked for 2-3 years making maybe like no money, basically. You could pretty much say $0 from my fitness account, and I just stayed consistent and eventually was able to just do content creation full time. It has its pros and it has its cons. It definitely is, I'm able to do what I'm passionate about every single day, and it's a very I have a flexible schedule, yes. The downside is I work from the second I wake up, so 5 a.m. to the second I go to bed. Even though it might not be like constantly from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. working, I'm like doing laundry and then working, and then it's 9 p.m. and I'm finishing cleaning the kitchen, and then I'm working, and then like we get into bed and it's just reading before bed. I'm working. Like, it's very difficult to turn off and find that separation, because when my page is like my life, every aspect is like work, if that makes sense. Like, everything in our very normal life becomes a job. Like, oh, I could film that. Oh, we're going on a date night, let me film that. Like, nothing, and it does come down to me needing to be able to separate the two better and like have those boundaries, but it's difficult. So
it's always on.
Yeah, always working, always on. I mean, I'm not complaining, I absolutely love what I do, but
I come home from work and I work for her until we go to sleep.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Usually he helps me edit, because like, long story short, I can't hear rhythm or like a beat of a song. So if I want to like edit a video to a song, I'll like pretty much cue it up to where I think it is lined up, and then Mitch will be like, okay, let me just adjust all these clips because you clearly can't hear the beat. So
yeah, we work well together.
So yeah.
Favorite dates with Bae that isn't food or working out?
Ooh. those are our only two kinds of dates. We love, lately we've been loving going on walks to like a local park and playing basketball. There was for a few weeks a basketball that was left at that park, and so we were just playing with that one. Someone came and picked it up, so I've actually been telling Mitch the past few days that we need to go to like Dick's Sporting Goods or something and buy a basketball so we can go play on our own. But honestly, like I said, I'm not the romantic one. If Mitch and I could lay on the couch every Friday night and Saturday night, eating popcorn, drinking our favorite drinks, eating our favorite snacks, and watching rom-coms, I would do that. So like, I feel like you're asking the wrong person, but I also, another favorite like date or time spent together, I love going on car rides. I'll literally, Mitch will get home from work and I'll be like, can we go on a car ride? Like, you can just like, I know you had to like run an errand to the grocery store, but like, can we like take the long way and I'll just like be in the car with you? So those are probably our favorite.
Lots of car rides.
Yeah, lots of car rides, walks.
She's kind of like a baby when like you need to put a baby to sleep, you throw it in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also like I love going to restaurants and not necessarily eating, but like if he's just like babying a drink, is that the right word? If he's just like sipping on a drink and I'm sipping on a drink and there's just like chips and sauce or something on the table and we're just like chit-chatting and hanging out, but just like in a public area, I feel like that's really fun for us too.
Yeah. We just like hanging out.
Yeah. Chicken, I'll feed you in a minute, babe. Okay, drama queen.
Do you ever get insecure? And if so, how do you deal with that? Smiley face.
All the time. I feel like it's crazy because I feel like I never used to be an insecure person. And I'm not an insecure person, but social media has turned me into a person who notices everything that I never knew existed. Like in high school, I had stretch marks and I still have stretch marks. I didn't even know they were a thing. Like I didn't even look at my legs and I was never like, oh, those are stretch marks. One day in school or like at track practice or something, I was wearing shorts and a boy came up to me and was like, are those stretch marks? And I was like, I don't know what the heck stretch marks are. Like I literally didn't even notice them forming on my body, which I feel like, you know. And so I remember for the longest time, like I would buy bio oil, I would get all the stretch mark creams, the cocoa butter I think is the brand, and just like try to get rid of those stretch marks. Didn't work, which I love my stretch marks. But
me too.
But in terms of being insecure, like I've like my core, like me as a person, I feel like I've never been insecure. I would say that I'm more so like nitpicky, and I don't know if I get self-conscious, but I call things out on myself that may be imperfections before trolls online can, if that makes sense. So I guess it's like a self-defense mechanism. But when I do have those moments, I just remind myself that like in the most respectful way, literally no one gives a shit about you, and like no one's like watching you that closely. Like for example, if you're like at the gym and you're feeling like insecure about your outfit or whatever, maybe you like have a breakout, I always think like, okay, every time I see someone who may be having a breakout and like I see a pimple on her face, I don't think twice about it. It looks so natural and normal to me because it is, that like I have to remind myself that like when I feel like everyone's looking at my face and it's all broken out or people are making fun of my outfit, I'm like, these people are all in their own worlds that like they don't care about us, respectfully, if that makes sense, you know, like.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's how I deal with it, is I just remind myself that they don't care, they're not paying attention. Like I just try not to let my thoughts like run rampant like that.
Yeah, that's good. What breed is your dog?
I don't know. She is a super mutt. I think she was part pit bull part German Shepherd, part Terrier, Boxer, and then the last category was just super mutt. But I mean, you've seen her. She's just like a goofball.
You should do a day in the life, someone said.
You guys, I don't have
a life.
Every day, I'm gonna tell you what I do. Wake up with Bay, we work out, I go for a walk, I come home, eat breakfast, work, play with this crazy girl, work, do laundry, work, clean, work. Mitch gets home from work, we hang out, we edit videos, we go to bed. Like, it's the most normal life, but maybe I'll do a week in my life when I know something more interesting is gonna happen. Like, maybe furniture getting delivered or something. But we have a lot of fun like house stuff coming in the next few weeks, and I have been vlogging for that because I know a handful of you have been like wondering what the house updates were. So
speaking of animals, are the cats staying outdoors now? And the person did 2 little emojis, and they literally look like our cats.
Yes, so Microwave and Z are outdoor kitties now.
Should we
so
put a picture up on the
yeah,
screen?
we'll put a picture of our 2 babies. Long story short, Microwave has pica, which is the urge to consume non-food items. And for example, I don't want to make it sound like we didn't do everything for these cats. Like thousands, I'm gonna be blunt, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to rectify health problems. Nothing could be done about it. Now they're full-time outdoor kitties living on our magical property, thriving. Okay, now back to the reason. So Microwave has pica. Say I'm changing and I throw the shirt off. Any normal person would just throw the shirt on the ground, right? Wrong. So if I were to throw the shirt on the ground and pick it up, huge hole in it. And so it would be like...
Not like this.
Like this. I'm gonna insert a photo because it's pretty insane, especially for a cat that's 8 pounds. So we locked our house down like Fort Knox. Like barricaded the closets with pillows, with like barricades. And somehow this little cat would still find a way to get his paw under the door and pull it open and just tear through my closet, like through thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of clothes. Okay, so one day the house is locked down like Fort Knox. I'm trying to like have tons of toys for him. We've moved to plastic toys because the fabric ones he would just swallow whole, weirdo. One day he is like throwing up because he always eats the items and throws up, but he's like his body's not like ejecting the item, and we realize he ate a plastic like mouse. And so we're like, oh my God, we think it's lodged in his small intestine. Take him to the emergency vet. If you have animals, you know how much that costs, right? Okay. So we're like, yep, save our cat's life, please. We're begging, resuscitate, all the above.
Do anything.
Do anything. So we get him back, and his purring is a little bit like gurgled. And they're like, oh, he has like, on a scale of 1 to 5, he has like a 1, scale of 1 aspirated pneumonia. And we're like, okay, weird, but like, we're not gonna question the vet.
It's because he threw up during his surgery.
Yes, he threw up during his surgery. And the poor little baby's stitches were from like his throat all the way down his belly, like the length of his body. And so we bring him home that night, and then like I wake up to Mitch saying like, hey Riss, like I don't want to scare you, but something told me to just go check on Micro. I checked on him. He's not doing well. He's like not breathing well. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like 3 a.m. So we rush back to the emergency vet. They're like, oh, like we're gonna have to put him on antibiotics. He looks like he has aspirated pneumonia. No shit, okay? So why didn't you give us antibiotics 2 days ago? Anyways, that's a whole nother thing. So then I'm at the gym like 2 days later. We're thinking Micro's gonna be fine. Antibiotics, he's gonna be peachy. So then the next day, a few days later, I'm at the gym and I get a call from the vet. And I'm like, oh, we can bring Micro home. Hi, your cat is on an oxygen tank. He's actually declining. He's breathing at like 20% of what a normal cat should be breathing at. I'm literally crying in the gym. I'm like, thank you for letting me know. Like, what do you say to that? They're like, we'll just keep monitoring him. I'm like, great. Like, what? So I call Mitch just crying. I'm like, you need to come home from work. Like, I don't know if our cat's dying. Like, it was just like effed up. So he's there for 6 days total, I think. And then he's fine. Just recovers off the oxygen tank, the ventilator, whatever you want to call it, fine. $12 zillion later, fine, great. So then we have him up because we have him up in a room with no furniture, no clothes, nothing. Just like locked down until we can figure out, till his stitches healed, until we can figure out what we're gonna do and how we're gonna lock down the house. The one thing we didn't do was take out the freaking shower curtain in the bathroom. So one day we see throw up all over the upstairs bedroom and we're like, oh my God, he's done it again. Like, so we rush him back to the vet because we're like, they said that surgery, as a young cat, like they can recover fine, but like if he were to do it again, the chances of him surviving that surgery would be very slim. I don't know why, but just because. So we rush him back, he's fine. And so we're thinking, oh my God, like we can't keep living like this where our cat is eating stuff. Everywhere we look, he's eating something. If it's not my clothes, it's the shower curtain, it's the pillow, it's the cord. He was eating everything. He's eaten a wicker basket and pooped it out before. I don't know how he survived that, but he did. So there's Microwave. And then we have Z, the white cat. He cannot pee in a litter box to save his life. We've done new litter. We've done 20 litter boxes across the house. We've changed his food. We've changed his location. We've given him the entire house to roam. We've given him 2 rooms to roam, like played with toys, stimulation, like everything except hiring the cat whisperer himself, we've done. And so it would be to the point where I'm waking up, it's always me waking up to Mitch. Hey, Riss. Me. What? I don't want to alarm you, but Z just pooped on you. I cleaned it up, but he just pooped on you while you were sleeping. Why is my cat shitting on me? Another time I'm sleeping and I feel Z jump up on my leg. I'm like, oh, he's cuddling me. 3 seconds later, I hear literally peeing all over me in my bed. So about 2.5, 3 years of him pooping and peeing in every single basket, bag, chair, crate, corner of a room you can think of, except the litter box. We were like, okay, and you guys know how bad cat pee smells. Like, I cannot be living in a home where our entire house smells like cat pee. So we were like, the only option is outdoors. And so summertime came around and we put them outdoors, and full honesty, they've been loving it. They have been thriving. Microwave's been living his best life. Z sleeps all day on the porch. Like, it's been great. So that's the cat drama. Yeah. But they're still both alive and well, and we still love them very much. And they're so funny. Whenever we go on walks down the road, they follow us, and we're like, Z, Micro, you have to stay at the house. And we'll be like 3-4 houses down, and they'll just be trotting along the sidewalk as we go for a walk. It's so cute.
We also have like a little bed set up for them at our front door, and whenever Amazon drivers or like delivery drivers come up, we have like a Ring doorbell so we can see, and they're just like laying in their bed right there by the front door, and the delivery drivers get to like pet them.
Yeah, it's really cute.
They love it. Tattoo tour.
Okay, I have these roses right here.
Just one rose.
Just one rose. No, it's 3.
Well, oh yeah, sorry.
And then I have a dog paw on the back of my ear. And then I have a Celtic knot right in the middle of my back, which you guys see a lot in my videos. I'm not gonna show you that. And then I have a little kitty right here. I want to spice this up somehow. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. And then I have, Mitch and I got matching tattoos on our sides. Before we were dating, when we were just friends, we were so cracked and got matching tattoos. If that doesn't mean something, I don't know what it means. I got this little moon tattoo because she's a basic bitch. And then when I went to an Alani photo shoot for Witch's Brew, yes, that is me. I'll insert a picture. It doesn't look like me because they touched me up so much. Me and all the girls that were at that photo shoot got little like caramel apple tattoos on our ankles. And then...
Do you want kids?
Yes. I want a family. Do you want kids?
Yeah.
Okay, good. When? I don't know. But we do want kids.
This is funny. Do you carry Someone sneaking around your house is terrifying.
Yeah, so if you're new here, we found crowbar marks on our back sliding door a few weeks ago. So that was super suspicious and just very uncomfortable. So we bought a bunch of Ring cameras, but I do not carry. I do. It's kind of difficult to find a date because they only do weekends and they're like 8 hours. But I do plan on getting my CPL certification just to like educate myself better and just become more familiar. And I do plan on getting, I don't even know if I can say this on YouTube, getting pew pew. But
we already have some.
Yeah, we already have some. I'm not a huge pew pew person, but and I can't really see myself using one if someone were to break in the house. Like maybe I would. I don't know until that happens. Praying to God it doesn't. But I do think it just gives me, it does give me a little bit more peace of mind to know that there is one in our house. So yeah, that's the status.
What was your wedding like?
So we eloped. We originally planned on having a normal wedding, invite all of our friends and family, get married, have a reception, do the whole thing. But COVID, we got engaged and then we wanted to have our wedding, I think a year later. That was when COVID had happened. And so it was during that phase where it was you can have 10 people in a room together. You can have 40. Oh, never mind. Now you can have 20. Oh, you can have 100. And every other week it was changing. Well, for Michigan, that is. And we just got sick and tired of it. And we were we want to freaking elope. So we eloped in the Redwoods in California. And then I believe 6 months later we were back in Michigan. 6 months later is when we had invited our friends, family to have a reception, and we just ate and celebrated. I got to wear my dress a second time, and that's when we kind of celebrated our wedding with our friends and family. Yeah. Moving on to now the more fitness related questions that I know you guys have all been, I don't want to say dying to hear because you haven't, but that's what 90% of my DMs are filled with. On to the fitness portion.
Let's just get some stats out of the way. How tall are you and how much do you weigh?
I am 5'6" 3/4 and I weigh, that's what my doctor said. I weigh, what was I this morning? 134.3?
Yeah, you usually 135.
Let's just say 135 is usually my average weight.
How much you bench?
The most I've ever benched, and multiple times, is 135 pounds.
Haven't been able to break through that.
Yeah, soon though. It's more than my body weight, so not too much.
What is your maintenance calories?
Well, from wearing my Aura, it says, which it's not super, super accurate, but I burn, roughly, today I burned 2,100 calories. Yesterday, let's see how much I burned yesterday. Yesterday I burned 2,000. The day before that I burned 2,100. Day before that, 2,100. So my maintenance calories would probably be about 2,000, 2,100 calories.
Yeah. Do you track your calories?
Yes and no. I know I become obsessed with foods, and after I've tracked generic things, I typically know exactly how many calories those meals are going to have, if that makes sense. But then also Mitch and I were just eating some Trader Joe's chips and salsa and garlic sauce, and I don't track that. So
you just kind of know that you had a couple more calories. And
yeah. So I'm obviously not going to sit down and smash the entire bag of tortilla chips and eat the entire container of garlic dipping sauce. But I had probably a serving of chips and 2 servings of garlic sauce. And I know that that's probably 300 calories.
Yeah.
So we kind of guesstimate, but I'm familiar. I did track calories for a very, very long time on MyFitnessPal. So I'm very familiar with what a serving size looked like, what, how much protein I need to be hitting and all that, which has made it easier for me to be a little bit more lenient now.
So kind of branching off of that, because it's kind of in the same vein, do you have cheat days?
Yes, but I don't like to consider them cheat days.
Do you plan ahead and say oh, today's a cheat day?
No, it's tough because I it's tough because I feel like when people create these like cheat days in their head, so like they're super, super, super strict all throughout the week, and then they're like, okay, yes, every third Sunday I'm gonna have a cheat day and I'm gonna go eat whatever I want. That's great, but for me, I know I would end up binging and just going so overboard because I was restricting myself from those foods. So like, for example, like I eat chocolate chips. I have like a handful of chocolate chips every day, and like that helps satisfy that like sugar craving that I have, you know, like that sweet craving. Obviously I had like chips and whatever earlier. When we go get ice cream, I try really hard to have like a very normal amount of ice cream, not like 3 scoops, just like, you know, not appropriate, but like an amount where it's just not overindulging, but I'm still satisfied. So that's kind of how I look at like eating unhealthy foods, is I try to incorporate them regularly. So when I do see them like at a party or at a dinner or at like a night out, I'm not like, oh my God, like Doritos, I haven't had Doritos in 2 months, and I just like smash the whole bag. I hope that makes sense.
Your diet for the whole week, like your meal prep, and why that diet?
I just get obsessed with foods. Cottage cheese right now is my hyperfixation, and omelets with cottage cheese are my hyperfixation. Oh, and marinated in like marinated in soy sauce and like pineapple juice and garlic chicken. And then I take that chicken, specifically the Mediterranean salad kit from Costco, and I have that every single night. Most nights. I would say 5 out of 6, because sometimes we go out with friends on the weekend. But like those 3 things are my hyperfixation. And then eggs and mustard, of course. So there's obviously they are also very macro friendly. If my hyperfixation were like Takis or like Cheetos, I don't know, probably would try to limit myself to that.
That's a little more problematic.
Yeah, but yeah, there's no reason. I didn't choose cottage cheese because it's super high in protein. The cottage cheese found me, and we've just been inseparable since. It's just a plus that it's also high in protein.
Like, what are some other hyperfixations? Like the eggs?
The eggs and the dill pickle mustard from Trader Joe's, life-changing. Another hyperfixation, Bearbells. Another hyperfixation, beef in a bowl with cottage cheese and dill mustard.
Like combining all the hyperfixations.
I'm telling you guys, like 3 months ago, my hyperfixation was salmon. I'd have salmon for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, haven't touched salmon in months. A couple weeks ago, when I was first getting refamiliarized, because I was a vegetarian for a hot second, with steak, I was craving steak. And I feel like one thing, side note, I do struggle with is that like I don't get enough carbs in daily because I was a vegetarian for so long and was not eating meat. I love chicken. And I don't like love it because it's high in protein. I literally like my taste buds, I crave chicken, and we meal prep huge bowls of chicken. And I will literally just sit there and be eating this chicken with like, I'll mix cottage cheese and like buffalo sauce, and I'll dip the chicken in it, and it is the best snack. And fortunately and unfortunately, it's extremely high in protein. So great for the gains, but like my carbs will be so low because I'm just eating so much chicken accidentally because I just crave it since I haven't had it for 10 years. So that's something I'm working on, is just like forcing myself to and reminding myself that I need to be eating more carbs with my meals instead of just like, you know, picking through the chickens and then walking away out of the kitchen, then going back into the kitchen and picking out more chickens. Like I just need to like be better about that. I don't know if any other vegetarians or people who were once vegetarians, if you guys have had that issue, but like it's like my body's just making up for all the years of not eating meat. I don't know, it's weird.
What are some of your grocery staples or substitutes when you first leaned out?
Ooh.
It's kind of a 2-part question because like the whole leaning out thing, like was that intentional? Like how'd that happen?
That was 150% not intent. I didn't wake up one day and say like, let's cut, let's get shreddy. What even happened? I remember the time, like I can think back on pictures like back in Lift LA. I was never big. Like, I'm not saying I was ever like a big person, but when I just carried a little bit more weight, I was probably 10 pounds heavier? I don't know. I didn't really weigh myself back then.
Still don't really.
Yeah, I think what the issue is that I would just be snacking into the night, which you think you're just eating like a couple hundred calories, but then you've been sitting on your couch for 2-3 hours and you've maybe eaten 600 calories because you had like some chips and then you had some popcorn and then you had like a bowl of like,
and then 1,000 calories.
Yeah, so I think that's really it, is I just like stopped the snacking all through the night and I just like eat more well-rounded meals rather than just like snacking all throughout the day and just kind of like not really feeling satisfied, because like I feel like if you're eating like a well-rounded dish, I finish that dish and I'm like, I'm full and my belly's happy, versus like picking at some snacks and then being like, 10 minutes later I'm really hungry still, and then picking at some more snacks, you know? So that's the first part of the question. Like I didn't really intentionally lean out, I think I just like locked in. As goofy as that sounds, I was like, I want to increase the intensity of my workouts. I want to feel stronger. I want to feel less lethargic. I want to get better sleep. And in turn, those changes were just leaning out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just became more self-aware of like the things I was putting into my body. What was the second part of that question?
But you're still eating 2,000 plus calories a day, right?
Yeah. But I'm also getting my steps in, and I wasn't focusing on steps back then. I'm also aware of like my activity level, and like I used to just sit all day. Now I try to be mindful, like, okay, I've been sitting for 30 minutes, like let's get up and like clean the kitchen for 30 minutes and come back and sit down. So like I'm trying, or like let's go outside and take Chick out for 5-10 minutes and I'm gonna run around with her and play with her to just get some movement in during my day, versus just like literally sitting and working on my phone for hours straight, you know?
So first part of that question was, what are some of your grocery staples or substitutes when you first leaned out? But like maybe like what are some of your grocery staples or substitutes for people trying to eat a little cleaner and like more whole foods?
Cottage cheese. And honestly, simplifying everything. So for example, I know this sounds lazy, but like salads. I could buy every single ingredient for a salad, and I know for a fact all those ingredients would go rotten in my refrigerator, wouldn't touch it one time. So that's why I spend the extra probably $2-3 per bag on a salad kit, because I know the easier it is and the easier things that I do in the kitchen, that the easier I make those, I'll stick to it. So like not making the crazy recipes that you see online, not overdoing it. Like the simpler it is, the easier it's gonna be for you to stick to. So like again, the salad kits. Some people are like, you're so lazy, that's such a waste of money. Okay, you might be able to be someone who can literally chop up an entire salad and make it just delicious and amazing. Me, no. It'll go rotten. It'll be so soggy and disgusting. Salad kit, on the other hand, I will finish every single salad kit in that refrigerator because it's easy.
Just gotta be mindful of toppings and dressings.
Yeah, so I do, like usually instead of doing like all the toppings, I'll do like half the amount of cheese, half the amount of toppings, and then half the amount of dressing, because then I add my own like dressing that's like a little less high in fat. Cottage cheese. But yeah, if you're someone who's trying to lean out, simplify your meals. Do not make it crazy. It doesn't have to be a huge, insane. I know like you see meals online and it's like, they look so delicious, but then you're like, oh, 45-minute prep time? No. Hangry wrists, 45 minutes waiting to eat. You got me fucked up. That's not happening. I need to eat within 5 to 10 minutes.
And lots of times it's expensive trying to cook those recipes because you have to like go out and get seasonings and like ingredients that you wouldn't normally use.
And you use it once and then it sits in your cupboard. So keyword, simplify your cupboard and refrigerator.
So
whatever that looks like to you. Sorry.
What are some of your grocery staples?
Beef, chicken, salad kits, fruit. Blueberries are easy to eat, but like if you get like strawberries, make sure you cut them, because if they're prepped already, it's a lot easier to grab and eat them versus like, oh my God, they all have the stems on them. I don't want to eat those. They're gonna go bad. Like in this house, those strawberries are gonna go bad. What else? Like what are some other staples that we have?
Green.
Oh, we mass cook like brown rice or quinoa, and so we either put it directly into our meal preps or we have a container. So if we're in a pinch, we can just easily throw a couple 100 grams of rice in a dish. Frozen vegetables will be your best friend. Yes, buying fresh is great if you're planning on making a recipe right then and there for dinner or something, but we have probably always 2 or 3 bags of like Normandy vegetables, peas and carrots, anything. So like if you're in a pinch and you're just like, what do I make? All the veggies in my fridge are bad. There's not enough to make a full meal. Takes 3 to 5 minutes to just steam those vegetables in the microwave, and then you have vegetables that are in their that have been frozen in their prime. So definitely that. And also like we have frozen shrimp, we have frozen salmon. Frozen shrimp is very, very quick to make. Like thawing takes less than 10 minutes, and cooking on the stove takes like less than 5. And it's very easy to manipulate shrimp and like season it and flavor it, and it's very high in protein. So that's something that like when neither of us have food and we're like, well shoot, what do we have? Frozen shrimp, just like thaw it really quick and make it. Like I said, anything that makes the cooking and eating process as easy as possible, that's like benefited my gains the most. Cause like if I get super anxious and I don't even want to touch the kitchen, I'll literally starve. As dramatic as that sounds, like Mitch will come home and be like, what did you eat? And I'm like, there was nothing to eat. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I was too anxious to make anything in the kitchen. And then he'll have to make me dinner. Like it's pathetic, but like I know that's how a lot of like your guys' brains work too. So eggs, egg white cartons and eggs. And then we also hard boil eggs. So we have 3 different forms of eggs in the refrigerator at all times.
What do you do when you're on vacation to work out and like diet?
It's tough because we both live very active lifestyle. So before vacation, we're always like, we're gonna work out and run every single day. And then once you get on vacation, you're like, I'm just gonna be horizontal on the beach all day. So what I try to do is at least make it to the gym once or twice if you're there for a week, just because the movement does feel good, I won't lie, but I don't make it a priority. Like I'm not like, we have to work out. If we don't work out, we can't go to the beach type of thing. But getting your steps in, I would say, during vacation. So like walking as much as you can, like obviously laying on the beach, but then walking, getting food, and then eating, and then walking back. Just like getting your steps in and staying active in that way versus like forcing yourself to go to the gym. Because on vacation, like it's not going to be as realistic, you know, to get that done and to get a good ass workout in.
So someone's like, please go more in depth on diet or training to get abs. I saw your previous video, but need more tips. Girl, need to know how to get these abs. Have been trying so hard. Bestie, how do you get your abs to be so chiseled? Literal goals. So
calories in versus calories out. As annoying as that answer is, decreasing body fat, and the only way to decrease your body fat is to be consuming less calories than you're burning. And then once you reach that level of body fat that you want to be at, maintaining that. So eating your maintenance level of calories. So I wish there was like some sweet answer like do abs 3 times a week and you'll have abs. Like no, calories in versus calories out. One other thing I just want to like make known and remind you how important it is just eating enough. So obviously like calories in versus calories out, you need to be eating less than you're burning to lose fat. But we're not starving ourselves, you guys. We are literally fueling our bodies. I aim for about 130 grams, about my body weight's grams of protein. So 130, 140 grams of protein, making sure you're getting enough carbs, like all that. So don't be starving yourself, fuel your body. You need that energy, you need those calories to then have energy in the gym to work harder and to push yourself and to make those gains. And there's no point in losing body fat if you don't have those abs to show off. Like once you shred, you won't have abs if you aren't building those muscles, if that makes sense.
No matter if I go to the gym or not, I need to eat around 1,000 to 1,100 calories to lose weight. Should I stick to it?
So 1,000 calories right off the bat, even though I'm just having a hard time understanding this question, is not enough calories.
No matter who you are.
No matter who you are. If you're a child, maybe that's enough calories. So when eating in a caloric deficit, and this work, one, for health purposes, but also for like sustainability purposes for you to maintain and continue to do, when you're cutting calories, don't go from like 2,000 calories to 1,200 calories. First off, we shouldn't even be cutting it that low. But secondly, doing it at a sustainable rate. So like say you're eating 2,000 calories and you want to slowly start cutting for a vacation you have in 6 months, bump down to like 1,850 or 1,900 calories. Stick there for a couple weeks, then cut down some more. Like even if it's just 50 calories, like something where you're not gonna feel starving by the end of the day because you cut out 800 calories like in one day, you know? Because you might be able to do that for a week, but then you're gonna be like, holy shit, I'm so hungry by the end of the week, and then you're just gonna go back to eating all the stuff and all the calories that you were before, and then it's kind of pointless. So sustainability wise, like cut your calories slowly.
Yeah, not to mention like if you eat in a large enough caloric deficit for long enough, you'll literally just become malnourished, and like you'll probably develop an eating disorder, and
you probably won't be able to even make progress in the gym. Like you won't see muscle gain, and you'll probably be fatigued and or be getting injured more frequently. You won't have the energy to go to the gym, you won't have the motivation, you'll be irritable. Like there are so many things that go along with just not eating enough and not fueling your body.
yeah.
I just want to address my diet really quick. I do post what I eat in a day videos, and I do post meal prep videos very frequently, probably once a week, and as well as like on my Instagram stories, I'm posting like my dinner or my lunch or my breakfast to give you meal ideas. So that's always a good place to look.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Just giving you guys a heads up. Okay, I just want to also address, I'm not going to share specifically, like, other than like me really focusing on hitting my protein goal. And I told you my protein goal, I think, is like 130 to 140 grams of protein per day. Like, let's say I eat 2,000 calories exactly every single day. If you were to do that and eat that exact same thing, you would not look like me and I would not look like you. So I don't want to share my specific macros just because I don't want to set you guys up for expectations, and like maybe that's not enough calories for your body, or maybe it is, or maybe it's too many calories for your body. Like it's gonna look different on everyone. So that's just why I'm not specifically going into what I eat, but I do share the foods I eat, and I hope that helps just to give you guys ideas and give you good meal ideas to hit your protein goal.
Yeah, that was good. I feel like we've talked a lot about food, and I want to ask you about like working out and like specifics about your workout split and stuff. But before that, like kind of in between, I feel like a good in between is asking about supplements.
Mm-hmm.
So, someone asks, do you inject any peptides or any kind of human growth hormone injection?
No. It's the doubts. I'm just kidding. No, I don't. That's crazy. That's not crazy. If you do it, good for you. Get those gains. Personally, I don't do it. I'm too much of a little bitch to do that, and I don't know. I think the health, I just don't touch that stuff. So that's that.
You'll stick to your teriyaki chicken.
Yeah, my Trader Joe's teriyaki barbecue chicken.
Do you take creatine? And if so, why do you take it?
Yes, take creatine every single day. It is my favorite supplement. I will say that kind of at the same time where I started to lean out and really was able to increase the intensity in the gym with my workouts, I started consistently taking creatine. I'm not going to say like the reason I leaned out was because of creatine, but creatine is one of the most highly studied supplements. And if there was only one supplement I could take, whether that was like a whey protein isolate, a pre-workout, fat burner, I don't fuck with fat burners. Not that you shouldn't, but do your research. I don't know if I would waste my money on fat burners or BCAAs. Just saying. Hopefully that's not an unpopular opinion. I would choose creatine every single time. So definitely my favorite supplement. I do get a lot of questions about if I get bloated on creatine. So I have not had that issue, but I do know that other girls have, and that is a side effect. Typically what I suggest is just to continue taking the creatine for a couple weeks, let your body adjust. It should adjust and the bloating should go down. If the bloating doesn't go down, I would stop consumption or just speak with your doctor and ask if that's something that they could help with, because that's just out of my territory. Your body might react to ingredients in creatine a little bit differently. I don't know. So, and then also hair loss. I haven't had any issues with hair loss. I heard a couple girls ask me about hair loss and creatine. That's never I've never seen that or heard that, but I've never had that issue. So
I think a lot of people like have this idea that creatine is some like crazy thing, but really if you eat like enough, like it's in foods and your body makes creatine and creatinine, like it's a naturally occurring thing. It's not like taking steroids. So a lot of people think like steroids hair loss, creatine hair loss, but it's just like taking protein powder. Like
so that would be my number one supplement. We're just gonna touch on supplements really quickly. The second supplement that that you could use, that you don't have to, but it's just a really good thing to have around the house, is a protein, like a whey protein, powder protein. You don't need it if you're eating enough calories and you're able to hit your protein goal through the meals you're eating. Great, but there are some days, and I know everyone has those days where you were running around and you didn't have enough time to like heat up one of your meals and you had to eat out, and maybe that was a lower protein meal. Come home, make a protein shake. There's 35 grams of protein. You've made up for it. We have lots of bags of protein in the house. I probably have to make a protein shake 2-3 days a week if like I realize I'm like low on protein or I've been out of the house and haven't been able to have my meals. Third supplement, which is absolutely not needed for the gains. None of these really are. Just remember that supplements are there to supplement your diet, not needed. Pre-workout, not really necessary. I know that a lot of people like myself, I just like to use it, one, because there's caffeine, helps give me energy during workouts, and also helps with the pump. So just like, I don't know, working out and seeing like your muscles pumped up and just like flexing, that's just a huge like motivation and like hype type of thing for my brain. So that's why I like to take pre-workout. It tastes good. It's just like a fun ritual to do before my workouts. Again, you don't need to have pre-workout to have success in your fitness journey. And then the last supplement I use that isn't really needed, and I don't really know if it's that beneficial. I mean, like, it does have benefits, but like if you're eating enough food, I don't think you need it. Greens, I do take them probably 3 to 4 times a week when I remember to. That's really all I have to say about it. I take them. They aren't the reason I look the way I do, but like if it's giving me any sort of micronutrient that I may not be getting, great, but I'm not too pressed about having it every single day. What I do take every day though is a gut health probiotic from Beekeepers Naturals, code Marissa 20 saves. I used those before they gave me a discount code. I bought them myself, love them. I take them every single day. I think I've been taking it for over a year. So not saying that you need to take a gut health pill, but
it's a very good idea.
Yeah, like a probiotic of pro and prebiotic of some sort.
Yeah,
so.
And the Beekeepers is actually a pre, pro, and postbiotic.
Yeah, so it's a 3-in-1.
It's full spectrum.
Yeah, so that's kind of what my supplements look like. Take creatine every single day. We also do have hydration packets in the house. Mitch is training for a marathon, but I also like to take those and put them in my water during my workouts. Make sure you drink enough water, and that's really it with supplements.
Someone said creatine routine, please. Maybe you could just like talk about like creatine dosing.
I just take 5 grams of creatine every single day. If you are a newbie, you can start with, I believe, 10.
When you first begin taking
When you first take it, start with 10 grams of creatine for the first
week or two,
and then taper down back to 5. But I've just been on 5 grams of creatine for ever. So,
how did you overcome the fear of posting on social media? How did you start posting on socials? What type of content did you do?
I still have not overcome the fear. I have him check everything. I get so nervous about spelling errors because as great, social media is great, but there are also a lot of crazy, really mean people on social media. So I've just become hyper aware of those people. So I have him double, triple check everything. But at the end of the day, I just remind myself that like it's my job, and I really wanted to do social media. I was just passionate about it. I was passionate about working out. I was passionate about helping other people. I was passionate about connecting with people, and posting was the only way that I was going to grow my social media and be able to do those things like I wanted to. So it was kind of like, which would I rather do? Just be terrified and accept it or be terrified and post, you know? When I first started posting, it was fitness. It's always been fitness, and like slowly I've been trying to get into more non-fitness because there is more to me. Like I'm not just like a random who just goes to the gym every day. Like I do, but I do other things. Like I have other interests. So I've been trying to share that a little bit more.
What is the biggest thing you've gotten out of becoming a social media influencer?
Definitely my friends and like meeting like-minded people. Is that like kind of what they mean?
Like what has it given you?
I feel like in high school and college, I was surrounded by people who I got along with and were great friends. But looking back, we were just friends because we liked to drink and go party together and like do dumb shit together, which I still love having friends like that. Like they're still so fun to be around. But like I remember girls would make fun of me for having a fitness account. They weren't supportive, they didn't understand, they weren't interested in working out. They'd make fun of me for being healthy or like not wanting to drink or not wanting to do things that I knew would make me feel bad later, you know?
This was back at like 1,000 followers too, right?
This was probably like less than 100,000. So regardless, if you're my friend, I would like to be supported at any level, with 1 follower, with 1 million followers. Like if we're friends, like, you know. But anyways, we're not gonna go too deep into that. And I feel like, for example, like Libby, recently I've been able to visit her more, but before this past year, I think I had met her maybe 3 times, but we would FaceTime all the time. We had so many things in common. The support from essentially a stranger, not really, but kind of a stranger, was insane compared to like girls I had grown up with and known for years. And it's just like this weird concept. I don't know. So I feel like I've met a lot of girls like online who have my same interests, who are unconditionally supportive, like Mitch. And like, it's just so weird. Like I feel so much closer to them than I have with people I've known for half my life, because yes, they're fun, nice, kind people, but like at the end of the day, we just didn't have as much in common besides going out to dinner and like shooting the shit, you know? Like there was nothing like that much more on a deeper level, if that makes sense. So it's nice to have friends that you can just literally be idiots around, but then it's also nice to have friends that you can be idiots around, but wanna grind, wanna work hard, wanna be stupid with, wanna do all the above with, and not judge you, and just be supportive of what you're doing with your career. So I feel like friendships and relationships I've made from doing social media. And I've been able to meet a lot of people who have more things in common with me than I was growing up my entire life. Another thing has just been like connecting with so many of you. Like I've always wanted to, like, before I did fitness, I was very much into like environmental sustainability, and I wanted to do education. So just like educating other people, working with other people, connecting with people, helping people. And then it kind of shifted to more personal training and wanting to help people like reach their fitness goals and like create better relationships with their bodies, with food, with just like balance in general in their lives. And I feel like this has been such, like, I've connected with so many of you. I receive so many, like, I will literally be like, oh my God, look what this girl just said to me. Like, this is insane. Because some days I will sit on my phone and be like, am I really doing anything? Like, I'll post a workout and then I'll receive messages like, hey girl, like, I've been doing your workouts for the past 3 months. I've never seen more progress in my life. I've never been so motivated. Like, when I have a down day, like, I just come to your page and I just like watch your videos and like blah, blah, blah. I watch your stories. And I'm like, that's literally so crazy, because there are definitely days where I feel like, am I doing enough? Am I like, is it worth it? So just like connecting with you guys and like knowing that I'm helping you in any way, or just being able to relate to you, or just being someone to talk to and relate to, has just been so nice. It's been so fun.
What's your favorite music genre? That's a Mitch question.
Oh, alternative rock, or like rap. Not rap, but like oldie, like 2000s rap. Would you call it that? Like Young Money, Cash Money, Billionaires. Like, had to say the full name. Like when Lil Wayne and like Nicki Minaj and Drake, like those times, like Quavo.
Yeah.
That is so cringy to say out loud, but yeah.
Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane. Yeah. 2 Chainz.
Also, by alternative rock, she just really didn't want to say it out loud on a thing. I think she really means like emo.
Yeah, like Midwest emo. Okay, where they're screaming and they're being angsty. So I'll make a playlist for you guys. Don't you worry. Stay tuned. I'm gonna link it below for you guys.
All right, what's your fave Gymshark outfit?
Okay, you guys know I'm all about the tiny top, big bottom. So I'm gonna give you 2 outfits because like they're a little bit different. The Elevate bra with the mesh short is the outfit that I will be buried in. But if you want like a tighter, more fitted short, like a tight, the Adapt Animal Safari short with either the matching bra or a minimal bra. Love those 2 outfits so freaking much. And then a loose sweatpant, but that's not really for the gym. That's more casual. Code Marissa does save and support me and Mitch. And Chicken.
People wanting to know, what is your skincare routine and what is your hair care routine? People have been asking this for a long time, and she has off camera been dreading answering this.
Because I don't know what I'm doing still to this day, but I do have a routine that semi works for me. So I use Paula's Choice and then Tula the most. Companies do send me a lot of stuff, but those are the 2 that I've really, really stuck with. I'm gonna post little pictures of what they are online, but I use like the exfoliant, it's like a gray bottle, and then I use a little green tube, and then I use the vitamin C, all from Paula's Choice, and then I use the face moisturizer from Tula. And then I also use the hydration face moisturizer and sunscreen from Paula's Choice as well. And then sunscreen, I use Unseen sunscreen, any kind. There's like a sport, there's a everyday like makeup glow, and then there's just like a regular sunscreen. I love Unseen sunscreen. I think it's called Super Goop. Hair care. I try to use the least amount of heat on my hair as possible. I do try to use like rosemary oil in it before hair wash days for a couple hours. I sleep with a bonnet. I think that's what it's called, just a bonnet on my hair to prevent like friction. Also just like keeping grease off of my face while I sleep. And my pillowcase is a silk pillowcase. I've always had long hair. I just try to like not cut it often, and I try to I put oil on the ends. I think it's called NYC something. I will put a picture up. I put oil on the ends to help keep it from getting dry. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's super basic, nothing crazy. Oh, the face. Okay, wait, 2 more things. I use a, I think it's like a toner. Sometimes if I'm not using the exfoliant one from Paula's Choice, I'll use a rose water toner. I don't know what it's called. I'll put the name across the screen to like cleanse my face. And then I also use La Roche-Posay face wash. So I hope that helps. Also, just like sunscreen I use so much sunscreen. Don't not use sunscreen. Protect your face, sunscreen. Stop avoiding using sunscreen, or just stop forgetting. It's like, I feel like that's the most important step.
A lot of people are asking about a training program, and if you have a training program that they can follow along to.
Something may be coming very, very soon. Stay tuned on my Instagram.
Did you just go into baby talk?
Maybe. We might be working on something, okay? So just be patient with me. I've had a lot of apps, like, you know, dinky type one-on-one coaching apps, just apps that aren't very personable, like between me and you, reach out to me to make programs, and like I do not want to do that. I want to make my own specialized program for you guys, and I've finally found someone to do that with, a company to do that with, so very shortly, you guys, I promise.
Okay, this is kind of a funny one. A girl said, I had an argument with my boyfriend about this, but do you think you could beat a guy in a fight if you had to?
I didn't even see that one. That's hilarious. Wait, can I read that?
Yeah.
That is funny. Yeah, I could beat the shit out of someone.
Okay.
If the adrenaline was going and like you really made me upset and we were fighting for a good cause, I could stand up for myself. We'll put it that way. I think I could. I'm feisty. I'm pretty feisty. I'm so excited. After this, we get to go finish filming our Trader Joe's haul taste test.
Okay, best lifting shoes.
So
you can just say your favorite ones to wear.
My favorite ones to wear, Rad Global has some really good lifting shoes. Sorry, I'm looking over there to see if they're over there. They're a really firm sole, really feel good on leg day, upper body day, any day. A lot of days though, I prefer not to wear shoes on my leg day, so I just go barefoot. And then upper body day, I also just wear any casual shoe, like a New Balance 9060. On upper body day, it's not as serious. I'm not doing like crazy Olympic lifts. I'm not doing powerlifting. I'm not doing anything that requires like a super, super stable shoe on upper body day. So that's why I kind of can get away with a lifestyle shoe. But if you are someone who does some more intense training like that, Rad Global has some really, really good shoes, and then also Nike Metcons.
Well, okay, so speaking of shoes, and you do wear these a lot, I think. If I think I know what these are, someone said, please do a New Balance 9060 haul.
I only have 2 New Balance 9060.
Oh. Are those like chunky trainers?
They're like the white ones I wear every day. I only have 2 of them. And if you go watch like probably my 2 most recent Instagram videos, I'm either wearing the all white ones or like the tan ones. So I wish it was more. I wish I had more than that. Maybe Mitch will get me another pair for my birthday.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe for Lift New York, I'll get a new pair.
Do you drink alcohol?
I do, but I don't. I'm not like sober, but alcohol is not something I enjoy doing. Like it feels good in the moment, but I hate the taste so much. I won't even like sip on a glass of wine really. 1, the taste is just awful to me. But 2, I do not like the way I feel the next morning. It is crippling. I don't know how people can go on benders and just wake up the next day and be hungover and be like, it's okay, because I will be dying in bed. So I'm okay with having a good time sober. So yeah, if I don't have to drink, I won't. But like if Mitch wanted to go out and it was a special occasion, like our friend's wedding is this weekend, I'll probably take some shots, but I don't know if I would take enough to just be hammered.
That's usually like a once a year, maybe once every 18 months kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
I can't recover like I used to. I used to work at Dunkin' Donuts when I was in high school, and I would work the 5 a.m. shift. So I have to get up at like 4, get there at 4:45 to like open and undo everything, prepare all the like sandwich meats and whatever to start the shift. I would go out to like 2 a.m. drinking, yes, in high school, don't judge me, and wake up just like feeling fine, great, work 6 hours at Dunkin' Donuts, get off at noon, and then be on with my day. Can't do that anymore. I'll have like 2 seltzers and I'll have a stomach ache the next morning. Like, what the hell? It's so stupid.
Tips on slowing down with alcohol.
Oh.
Coming from a girl. And where did you get that top? She also asked.
I can't remember what top it was. I think it was the white tube dress I was wearing. Aritzia. So it's, oh shoot, I should just DM her. I got my little cute white tube dress from Aritzia. Slowing down, honestly, I had to stop going to a lot of social things with friends that only liked to drink. Because
you never really had an issue with like having this, like you need to figure out
yeah,
how to slow down.
I never was ever in a position where I'm like, whoa, reality check, I think I'm drinking alcohol too many nights a week, I need to reel it in. But to avoid situations that even involved alcohol, because like a lot of my friends would come home for the holidays and be like, oh, let's go to the bars the night before Thanksgiving night, the night after, and I'd just be like, I don't want to go. Or I would just go sober and I would just grab a like club soda lime, is that what they are? Or like a Diet Coke or just something clear, and so people weren't asking, and put a lime in it so people weren't asking like, why aren't you drinking? Because that's the most annoying part, is telling people like why you're not drinking. It's like, stop pestering me, just like let me vibe on my own. So maybe just like taking a step back from like that scene, or just ordering mocktails or like club sodas, and it just avoids people being all up in your business, because people love to do anything but mind their own business.
I really want to grow my glutes without growing my thighs. Any workout recommendation?
I don't think that that's possible. 1, genetics. If you're seeing someone online who has a fatty but really, really skinny legs, genetically speaking, she probably is just built that way. But in terms of like exercising, there aren't really any exercises that are gonna strictly just target your glutes and just not see any growth in your thighs. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, like, obviously,
it's just not realistic to grow your glute muscles to the point where you have the mass in that
Yeah.
area, like people that you see online that just have like,
Yeah.
you can tell when someone just genetically has like
A big butt. So like if you're growing strength and mass in your ass, to get stronger on that exercise, you're gonna wanna increase weight, but naturally your legs are gonna have to get stronger to help move that weight, even though it might be a glute focused exercise. You're not gonna literally be lifting exercises with solely your glutes. Like your hamstrings and quads will work as secondary muscles in that movement. So like as you're increasing weight, increasing calories, growing muscles, increasing intensity, like your butt's gonna grow and like your overall legs are gonna grow as well. It's kind of like, oh, I only want to train my biceps. Well, like your whole upper body.
forearms are gonna get huge too.
Yeah, from like grabbing heavier weights and holding on to heavier weights, and just so there's no way to just target only your glutes, but genetics do play a role. Obviously, how hard you work in the gym do as well, and like targeting specific muscles, you can obviously enhance those more. But like if you're seeing something like that online, it is maybe plastic surgery, B, Photoshop, or C, they just were genetically blessed with a huge ass and a smaller waist and smaller thighs.
And being muscular everywhere is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's not a bad
Yeah, if you're worried about getting bulky, I promise you that is the last thing you have to worry about. I've been working out for 5+ years, and like I can't grow my legs. They're literally sticks. I can't grow my ass. I can't you know what I'm saying? Like it's very difficult to get bulky. So.
All right, I'm gonna ask one more.
Okay, one last question, and then we're gonna be done for the night. And then if I don't answer enough questions, maybe we'll do like a part 2.
How often do you train in a week?
5 days for sure, some days 6, because we like to go on Saturdays because it's usually the time. We're not as rushed in the morning. We get to kind of, I don't want to say fuck around because we still get a good workout in, but it's kind of like our hangout time, and that's when I'll do like a full upper body. Okay, my workouts usually look like legs, back and buys, legs, chest, like a push workout, and then legs. If I'm not feeling a third leg day, like if my legs are just freaking roasted and toasted, or I only work out 5 days a week instead of that full 6, I'll just do like either a full body or a full upper body. So at least 2 leg days, and then a push and a pull workout, and then either one more leg day or a full upper body. So 5 days for sure I work out. If I don't work out on the weekends, I'm getting my steps in.
Just because the people want to know, and like you just said you do 3 leg days a week, which is a lot. Do you split your leg days up? Like do you do like front of the leg, back of the leg, or like how do you do that?
So I'll do like a quad focused leg day, and then I'll do a glute focused leg day, and then if I do end up doing a third leg day that week, it'll just be a full leg day.
All right.
But listen to your body, because like a lot of people are like, wow, I can't believe you do 3 leg days every single week. I don't. Some weeks it's 3, some weeks it's 2. Sometimes if I'm like really on top of my sleep schedule, really on top of my calories, I'll have that energy and just ability to hit that third leg day. If I'm still sore and just not feeling it, I will just call it and hit an upper body day, or just take it easier. Like always be listening to your body.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, that was fun.
Do you have anything else you want to like tell people?
No. Maybe I'll tell them one more fun story about us.
Okay.
Okay, so one time, Mitch used to do worked for a landscaping company in the area, and so in high school, one time he sent me a Snapchat like 4 or 5 houses down from my house, and it's like, hey, look where I am. In my head, any normal person, I'm like, oh, he's gonna stop by and say hi. So I rush to the front door. I'm like looking up and down like this street, and I'm like, there's no landscaping company, like what's going on? So I text him back immediately, and I'm like, wait, like where are you? Like I wanted to say hi. And he's like, oh, sorry, like I meant to press send, but that was like 2 or 3 hours ago. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Turns out he sent me the Snapchat as he was leaving so he could avoid saying hi to me because he was intimidated by me. Okay, like you're so weird for that.
I was
nervous.
I was nervous.
Anyways, I think that's my last. We'll save the Mitch stories for another time, but that's one of our funny stories. Is there any more funny stories?
I got nothing else.
Okay. Well, that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope I answered a majority of your questions. If you guys have any more questions, please leave them below, and maybe we'll do a part 2, but I appreciate you guys so much for listening and watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time.